Well, good afternoon, everyone. Jerome, are you here?
I am.
Excellent. I'd like to welcome everyone this afternoon to our Making the Most of Mother's Day Zoom meeting. We should be able to ask questions via chat. If you see your chat button down at the bottom, if you have a question, feel free to type your question in and we'll try to answer it as they come up here. We will also take time at the end of the meeting to do some questions and answers. I have 3 or 4 questions that came in prior to the meeting here that we'll review during that time. I do have you all on mute, so it's easier for us to hear Jerome, and we're not jumping all over that way. So that's why you're not able to speak on this one, but if you have a question, feel free to type it into the chat box and we'll make sure to get to it. On that note, I'm going to turn it over to Jerome and we'll get started with our meeting today. Thank you again for being with us, and thank you, Jerome.
Oh, you're more than welcome. Good afternoon, everyone. Wow, what a beautiful spring day we have. It's absolutely gorgeous out. What are we doing working, eh? Anyway, so as Rodney said, we're just going to have an open discussion here. So the biggest part is we want to be able to help you. So if you have specific questions, please go and type it into the chat box and forward it over. I'll be able to see it. Copy everyone, and that way we'll be able to see the questions, because whatever your question is probably important to someone else as well. I see that we have retailers on here. I also see we have some wholesalers and suppliers. So, obviously, I hate to be redundant, but everyone says we're all in this together. I also saw a Facebook post that said we're all in this together, but we're all on a different boat, which I thought was a pretty valuable tip, really, because as much as we are all affected by this, how we're all affected is totally different. So some of the things that we wanted to talk about is obviously being open and providing service for Mother's Day. And for most of you, I think most of you are here in Michigan. I see a few out-of-staters popping on, and that's okay. I don't know where all of you are from. Yeah, hi, Ryan. I saw that Canadian wave. But somebody just posted, how many shops will be allowing customers actually inside their store for shopping and payment? Well, I hope the answer to that question is no one, because in the state of Michigan, that is not something that you're allowed to do. You're allowed to do online orders, so they can place orders on your website. They can place orders over the phone, and you are able to do no contact delivery, and you're able to do curbside pickup. Curbside pickup cannot be confused with curbside selling, because you can't have people pulling in and saying, I will take 2 of those, and 1 of those, and 3 of those, and then you're out there basically in a farmer market format. That's not what is allowed for us as retail florists. What I described is what's allowed. Now, I will tell you, for those of us that do have a larger parking lot or area that we can do this, I think there's some ways that you can, I don't want to say manipulate, but carefully and conveniently meet your client's needs. So what we're doing is we're allowing them to pull in the parking lot. We're going to have some different, we sell a fair amount of like hanging plants and blooming porch pots and things like that for Mother's Day. And people do like to kind of see it and point at it and say, I want the hot pink one, not the soft pink one. And you know what we all go through. So we're planning on setting up some displays in our parking lot and having a drive-through curbside pickup, but they're going to pay on PayPal. So it's going to be prepaid. They pay on PayPal. They can pay right from their phone while they're sitting in the parking lot. You can sit, and I highly recommend that we all keep this very simple and we round off our prices and say, these are 30, these are 40, these are 50, and just keep it clean, down and dirty, simple, because it's going to be much easier and it's going to be a quicker way to rotate those people out of your parking lot and get some more people coming in. And then they can pop their trunk, they can, that type of thing, and we can set it in the back of their trunk. Our staff is following all the CDC guidelines. We have gloves, we have masks, we're wiping down, we're disinfecting, we're doing all the things we've all talked about ad nauseum. And we need to keep doing that because it's important that we stay safe as an industry. And it's important that we stay safe with our customers and let them see that we're staying safe, because I think that'll mean a lot as a business and just being reputable like we all are. So that's how that's being done for our shop. If anyone else has a different way they're handling it, that might be a good idea. Please put it in the chat so we can share that. There's also at the bottom of your screen, for those of you, I know for me, and I'm sure many of you, this whole Zoom thing became part of our world, and it wasn't something that I didn't, Zoom to me was what my grandkids did with their little cars. So now Zoom to me is like seeing all your smiling faces, and and meeting with my family and having Easter dinner with my family with my laptop on the table. So my point is, on the bottom of the screen, there is a button that says reactions. And you can go there and you can put a thumbs up or something, and Rodney will see that. And if you don't know how to chat, then you can put a thumbs up and he can ask your question privately, and we can get that going. So we want to help you any way we can. I have another comment that says, I'm concerned that some folks are interpreting curbside differently, as in handing things out the door, including paying with cash. I hope they won't get in trouble. Well, I hope they don't get in trouble either. But that is not what it's supposed to be. They're not supposed to be exchanging cash. They're not supposed to be selling from the curbside. This is curbside pickup. So totally different concept, and it's different, and we need to understand that. I'm not naive, and I know a lot of people know their police departments, and a lot of people know what they can get away with. And my biggest concern with all this is that everyone's staying safe, because that's what this is about. We're not doing this to see who can get away with what. 10 or 12 or 14 days from now, if you're sick, I don't know that you got away with anything. So we're following the rules. We're not taking cash from the street side. We have had some customers, because not everyone has PayPal, not everyone has a credit card and all that stuff. What we did is kind of went back to the old roadside stand model, if you can believe it or not. And I'm in Detroit, so it's working here. It can pretty much work anywhere. We're just going with the honor system. We're telling them to put their name on the outside of an envelope and put the cash in an envelope. And they're dropping it in our mailbox, which is a locked mailbox with a slot. And that's what we're doing. We've done some deliveries that way and things. Now, we are wearing our gloves when we're taking the money out and all that type of thing. I mean, we just have to be careful. So that's another option that we are doing, although we're not encouraging it. We're definitely encouraging pay with a credit card. And, most people today do have credit cards, or debit card, or whatever the case may be. So keep that in mind, that most people do, or at least they have someone that they can, maybe a family member has a credit card, they can give them the cash, and they can still pay with a credit card. So,
Jerome, can I jump in real quick?
Yeah.
Yeah, and we did not lobby for cash transactions. All of our correspondences with the governor's office were to be, like Jerome's talking about, credit card, PayPal, online transactions, call on the phone and give the information over the phone and process it that way. And as Ryan Freeman just put in the chat window there, last thing we need is news headlines highlighting how some people got sick through contacting their florist.
Right, exactly.
With their florist. So
right.
Yeah,
we don't want any of that. And also, somebody just posted that they also noticed that a lot of their customers use Venmo. Venmo is actually owned by PayPal. Most businesses use PayPal. And then Venmo is a little bit, if you read up on it, which I did because I didn't really personally know the difference either, Venmo is more for like exchanging money between people back and forth. PayPal's much more recommended for businesses. Can you do Venmo? Yeah, absolutely, if that's what you want to do. It's basically whatever your customers are going to drive. But generally, if someone has a Venmo account, they also have a PayPal account because they are owned by the same people. So I saw someone with a hand up. It was Carmen from Curtis Flowers. I don't know if they still have a question or not. They took the hand down. Maybe they were just giving a thumbs up like, hey, we're doing a good job. I don't know. Hopefully that covers everything as far as the payment situation. We have definitely put up stations far enough apart, so easily, most of ours are 6 to 8 feet apart, really. We're having our designers, each one just work on a particular type of design so that all their flowers will be put by them. They'll have all the containers. There's no more of this running around the shop. Actually, from a retail standpoint, it's going to make us a whole lot more productive and a whole lot more organized. So it's probably things we should have did a long time ago, but you know, we're stubborn florists and sometimes we have to be forced to do it. So I really, that's what we're doing, and I think it's going to work out well. I assume several of you have already been open this week. I don't know if everyone has or not. I'd like to hear from some of you that are open and how is it going. We have been open and assisting customers since Monday. And it's been a fairly decent week, all things considered. We've had some action with customers and certainly some Mother's Day orders starting to come in and things like that. I see a comment from Molly who said, are the delivery people wearing masks? Absolutely. All our delivery drivers are wearing masks and wearing gloves. Gloves are one of those things that I think are more of a perception. Because I see people wearing gloves, especially at the grocery store. I see people wearing gloves, and then the next thing you know, they're wiping their face with their glove on. So, you know, that's kind of defeats the purpose. So I don't know if gloves are really what they're cracked up to be. Certainly, if you're a true florist and you have some cracks in your fingers and things like that, you might want to be wearing gloves. But I don't know that it's necessary. But what is necessary is that you are continuously washing your hands. Wash your hands, wash your hands, wash your hands. That's really what's important. And so if your delivery drivers are going to be wearing gloves, they should probably have a whole box of gloves with them so they can change between doorknobs they're touching and porch rails and all that type of thing that they're touching. And every time you touch something that's outside of your personal realm, you need to be changing your gloves.
Jerome, I was going to interject real quick here about wearing the mask too. I don't think it's necessary that they wear the mask in the vehicle, but as soon as they get out of the vehicle,
correct,
and approach the customer's delivery spot, they should have the mask on.
Yeah, we certainly don't want it to slip up over their eyes while they're driving, because we're all getting used to driving with masks on. So correct. I mean, if you're in your own personal vehicle and you're driving around or you're in a delivery van, you don't need to be wearing a mask, but you have to wear the mask before you get out of the vehicle.
Yes.
And anytime you're outside or going to someone's porch or making a delivery, you have to do that. Are all of you having a lot of issues getting product? Well, I see a wholesaler on here, and I don't think he's shaking his head no. There's product available. I don't know where you're located, but reach out to your wholesaler, sooner the better, because everyone's trying to get their product lined up, and you can't wait too long. Now is the time. I will tell you, it won't be like other times where there's like a ton of extra product. So you need to place your orders and get them placed and go with what your gut feeling's telling you. I don't know. I've talked to a lot of retail florists about how to order, how much product should I get? No one knows. As a business owner, we decided to go with 50%. So that's what we're doing. We're doing 50% of what we've done on a traditional year, just knowing we're not going to have any of that walk-in business, which we do a fair amount of. I may be a little too aggressive on that, but I'm an old school and I don't want to run out too early. So we went with a 50% number on our things. So hopefully we answered the mask question. Hopefully we answered the product question. We're open and having a good response. Carmen said, thank you. We're having a good response too. For the most part, I had one cranky customer yesterday. It was at the end of the day and the gal that was working at the shop had just left. So when she went out the front door, she didn't, I mean, it wasn't locked behind her. And I was just shutting off the lights and at the front counter, and all of a sudden the door opened. I was kind of startled. This guy comes walking in, and I go, oh, I stick up my hand and I go, hey, how can I help you? And he goes, oh, I just want to get some flowers. And I said, okay, but just, you know, legally you're not really supposed to be in here. And his comment was, well, then why is your door open? And I said, well, because my employee just left and I'm about to. Well, he got a little fussy about the whole discussion and then decided that he didn't want to get anything. And you know what? I'm okay with that. But for most part, every one of our customers have been more than understanding. They're just delighted. I think our customers are excited as we are about being open. They're so excited that they can order flowers, that we can help get some flowers out to someone to put a smile on their face. Of course, we're sending a lot of flowers for sympathy. I am in the Detroit area, and we've had a lot of deaths around here. And so a lot of flowers going to people's homes and, you know, and the loss of a loved one and that type of thing. So that's been something that's been going on all week too. So we definitely are having a good response. And someone else said we're open and operating the entire time. We've had limited hours, but now in full swing. So, and I do know that although we were supposed to be closed, some flower shops did remain open through the whole situation. It's different in different areas of the state and areas, and you can, they definitely can, you know, I can't condone it. All I can say is that you do what you do. It's your own business. All I'm saying is that we were closed and just opened this past Monday, and we've gotten good response.
Well, that shop's down in Ohio.
Oh, that's an Ohio shop. Okay.
That's an Ohio shop, and I did talk with them the other day, and they were able to do the e-commerce and phone orders with curbside pickup and no contact delivery. So
okay,
they were in a little different situation than we were here in Michigan for a while.
That's right. And that's why I said, you know, I don't know where everyone's from because I don't see that. I just see your smiling faces. So, and there's Daniel.
Molly's making arrangements. Molly's making arrangements right now. I can see her. She's working at the bench.
Hey, you got to keep it going, right? Somebody said they're keeping sanitizers in their vehicles and using it before and after each delivery. That's absolutely a good idea. Certainly should be doing that. And then, what else? A couple other chat questions here.
Wipe those gas pumps off when you fuel up.
Yeah, wipe those gas pumps off. Throw the gloves away after you fuel up. I see people fuel up with gloves and then they get in and do their steering wheel and the whole 9 yards. It's like, okay, what did you just achieve? So you really got to think about it, but it's all new to us. We're all learning. So I think the more we hear about it, the more it's better. So I did get a comment, whoever was asking about having a challenge getting product. There's John's on here from the Nordley company, which is part of the Kennecott family, said, we just need to know what you're ordering. We have not had a lot of pre-books because of the unknown. Monday and Tuesday will be our large trucks for us, but we need to know ASAP to get it on the Tuesday arriving truck. So if they service your area, keep that in mind. But, you know, in all honesty, all the wholesalers are in the same boat. A lot of them use the same trucking companies. Just know they're in the same situation we are. They didn't know whether to get product, not get product, what to get, all that kind of thing. We're all just trying to do the best we can. And I think that's the important thing. But like I said earlier, our customers have been super understanding. We have switched our selling mode. We've skinnied down our website. I hope all of you have taken the opportunity to do that. We have our website through Teleflora. They offer the service very easily. I'm sure others do the same thing. We've taken it down. We've minimized our website to sympathy, Mother's Day, and Nurses Week. Nurses Week starts next week. It's May 6th. This is something we as retailers should be promoting. Nurses are very popular right now. People love their nurses right now. Too bad it's not that way all the time. But this is an opportunity. Send flowers to your favorite nurse. It's May 6th is when it starts. And so this is something else that we can be promoting. So that's what we did to our website. We have Nurses Week, Mother's Day, and Sympathy. That's it. and we have choices on each one of those pages that they can pick from, and it's working well. The other thing is our staff has been educated and re-educated and re-educated again, and you know what I mean. For those of you that have staff, we re-educated them one more time, and that is to sell a look and a feel. We're selling something in pinks, purples, and lavenders. We're selling something in whites and greens and organic feel, or we're selling something in bright and bold colors. Then you have your choice. What style do you want those flowers in? Do you want them in a low, lush type design, or do you want them in a more tall and distinctive style design? And by doing it that way, it just eliminates things, and then we just give them 3 price points and let them pick what they want. And it's been going very well. People are still buying box chocolates and things. We still sell Mylar balloons, and we have customers still wanting those for birthdays and things. People just want to celebrate. And I understand they've been locked up for a hot minute. And so they want to let people know that they think about them, they care about them, and that's important. Carmen said, we did the skinny down. Awesome. Customers are ordering exactly what we want them to. Yeah, good answer. Isn't that novel? So we're training our customers to order what we actually bought. Wow. Concept. Anyways, it's working, and they all seem to be going well with it. Now, we have roses available. They can get red roses, wrapped or vased, or they can get mixed colors. Those are our options. Don't be telling me you want the pink ones with the purple edges and the green polka dots, because we don't have those. So they're going to get what we have, and they're going to be all beautiful arrangements, creative designs, all the things they're used to, but this is our skinny down selection. Somebody said, Mayesh has told us that they were going to try to get some trucks running, but they aren't sure. We can drive to Romulus to get our own product from them. Well, there's an option. They use a pool service at Mayesh, and the pool service, much like all of us, had to lay off all their people, and now they're trying to get people to come back to work. And that's a challenge, as we as business owners all have come to realize. Getting people to come back to work when they are now making far more than what we pay them because they're on unemployment. I get it. Is it right? No, it's not right. I had a call earlier this week with Everything HR, which is an HR firm based out of Troy, Michigan. And she's very informative, but it is what it is. So any of you that have gotten the PPP loans, that money is meant to be used for payroll. So I encourage you to use it for payroll, because if you don't, you'll have to pay it back. So if you did get those loans, let's use it and pay people and have them come back. They're actually, the gal from Everything HR, although I don't personally agree with it, said, you know, if you got the PPP loan, you could actually offer to pay your employees what they're making on unemployment and have them come back because you have the loan. In all reality, I think the whole system's all jacked up, but that's just my personal opinion. And I know that's probably not a professional comment from the leader of this Zoom call, but for those of you that know me personally know you're pretty much going to hear it the way I think it is. And it's a challenge. It's a super big challenge because people don't want to come back to work. They're making $362 plus $600. They're making $962 a week. And I don't know how many of you retailers are paying that kind of money, but if you are, please make a comment in the chat because I might be coming to work for you. But that's what's going on. And unfortunately, we got to find a way to get through it. I'm reaching out to friends, families. Keep in mind, there is a lot of segment of people out there that are not getting that kind of money. So as much as it's a burden to us as retailers, if you need helping hands, post on Facebook in your local groups and say, hey, I need some help. Next week's Mother's Day, who can help? I posted for delivery drivers and I got 27 applications in an hour and a half. So I'm just telling you, there are people out there that are willing to work. It may not be your regular employees, which will make it challenging, but there are people that are out there because a lot of your bar and restaurant people only lived on tips and they're not making any money right now. And they're kind of dying on the vine, I hate to say. So they're eager to help you out, even if it is just in the short term to get through this. So, Jim Wilson commented that, no, somebody commented, does Jim still have masks available? Yes. Rodney sent that link out a little bit earlier today. So please check that out. There are masks still available for purchase for immediate ship, to my knowledge. Correct, Rod?
Yes, Norman Smith Enterprises brought a high quality FDA approved medical mask, and it's a 3-ply. I talked to Alan yesterday. He's got them in stock, and there's it's in the email that was sent out this morning. You just need to call them directly. They'll ship them out the day you call. It's not on their website, so don't bother going there. You've got to call the number that's in the email, or it's also on our website at greatlakesfloralassociation.org. Click on the little news tab up in the upper right-hand corner. You'll see a little small news thing in the upper right-hand corner of the homepage at greatlakesfloralassociation.com, and then you'll see the information for the mask there.
Okay. Andrea commented that they're open close to the public in the store. The greenhouse is open to the public, and the PPP is 75% payroll, 25% can be used for rent, utilities, or other. And all I'm going to say, because I'm not an expert on this topic, is yes, it is a 75-25% split, but I encourage you to read that paperwork very carefully. There's a lot of specifics on how that money can be spent, and when it has to be spent, and the timelines it has to be spent in, and on what. There was a lot of people running around saying, oh, you can use it to pay your mortgage. Well, no, you can't use it to pay your mortgage. You can use it to pay the interest on your mortgage, which we all know is quite minimal compared to a mortgage payment. So just keep that in mind. Just keep in mind that although anyone that's gotten any kind of financing, just read the paperwork, because I still remember my mama saying there's no such thing as a free lunch. And I keep that in the back of my mind. I think, okay, nobody's giving me free money, and I just need to be careful on this. I know that it's possible, but it's very difficult when you're supposed to bring back your entire team by the end of June, and no one wants to come back to work because their unemployment's going to run to the end of July or later. I had one employee tell me that they got a notice that theirs runs to September. So that's a long time for them to be collecting some big money. And in the meantime, the stipulation on the PPP for us and for ours was it has to be used by the end of June. And we got it 2 weeks before we could even open. So I couldn't use any of it because I couldn't be open. So it's kind of a double-edged thing there. So a lot of those of you that have greenhouses, and I guess a few of you here are doing greenhouse opportunities, just make sure, somebody just posted that they're putting up the partitions, the plexiglass partitions and things like that. I also heard of some greenhouses because it's a concern. Maybe some of you were on our last Zoom call last week, but I witnessed it last weekend going to the Eastern Market, where they're partitioning off the area, and the customer actually goes with an employee of the greenhouse, and only the employee of the greenhouse picks up product and puts it on your flatbed or on your cart or whatever. You don't want people in there handling everything, because otherwise you're going to have to disinfect every flat, which is going to be a whole nother nightmare. So I know it's an inconvenience. I know you're going to have other staff in there, but basically it's going to be, personalized shoppers walking along with people, letting them point at what flat of flowers they want, but don't let those customers pick them all up, because you know as well as I, customer will pick up a beautiful porch pot and then they'll decide, oh, the other one's got a better shade of pink. And so then they want to set that one down and get a different one. So we want to be safe. We want to make sure that we're keeping our staff safe, ourselves safe, and our customers safe. And ultimately, that's the number one thing. And I've told all my staff that repeatedly. I don't really care if we have to lose a customer over it. I want my staff and my people to be safe. And, everyone has a different school of thought on where we're at on the pandemic right now, and it feels different in different areas. But the reality is it's still around, and it's not going away anytime soon. And this is kind of, to cliche the phrase that everyone's saying, our new normal. We're all going to be wearing masks. We're all going to be disinfecting, and we're all going to stay away from each other. And I've had several people say, you know what, that's not a bad idea. There's several people I didn't want to get that close to anyway. So it works. We gotta stay safe. But I'm just delighted that we're finally here in Michigan able to sell product. I know we're making a difference in a lot of people's lives right now. People are really excited to be getting flowers, whether it be for birthdays, anniversaries, sympathy, whatever the case may be. They're just excited, and we're happy to do it. And so that's kind of how we're handling things. What are the other comment here? The predations, yeah, and creating one-way aisles in the greenhouse is a good idea as well, just like they've done in some of the larger stores. Don't see any other questions here from retail flower shops. The big thing is, just to reiterate, because I saw a fair amount of people jumped on a little bit later in the call, I just want to reiterate that in Michigan and many other neighboring states, what we're allowed to do is take internet and phone orders, and then we're able to do no contact delivery, and we're able to do curbside pickup. That does not mean that you can sell farm market style outside, because then they have to be handling the payment and everything out there. That's not how that's going to work. They're just going to drive through and pick up. Is everyone clear on that? Yep. Any flower farmer florists on here, someone said. Anybody growing their own flowers at this time? If you are, say something in the chat, or make go to the reactions and put a thumbs up or something. We'd like to hear from you how you're dealing with it on a farm basis if you're growing products. Yes, nobody else at the moment. Rodney, what were a couple of the other questions that people sent in?
Yeah, we covered one or two of them, but one here asked, an employer is required to put in property safety protocols to keep customer, employee, and employer safe. What rights are there if that doesn't happen? And trying to discuss it is getting nowhere. By law, OSHA can be called, but that could shut the business down totally. Want to avoid that? Well, the simple answer is yes, you've got to follow the proper protocol. I responded to the email like this: you must follow CDC and OSHA guidelines. There are separate guidelines for employees and separate guidelines for customers. Only greenhouses and garden centers are allowed to have customers at this time. Both of these are outlined in the Governor's Executive Order 2020-59. You'll want to see sections 8 and section 11. Download a PDF of the Governor's Executive Order, again, back at GreatLakesFloralAssociation.org. Click on News up in the upper right-hand corner, and you'll see one of the articles that I've placed up there is the actual executive order. I've gone through that order and highlighted some of the things that I think are specific to our industry, but I really encourage every one of you on this Zoom meeting to download that and read it word for word. Take 10 or 15 minutes and go through it so you can understand it. It's written fairly clear and easy to understand, but that will point out to you that you do need to follow these guidelines for your employees, your customers, and yourself, and that if you don't, yes, you can be shut down. So I would highly recommend that. Within that executive order, there are links to go to in section 8 and section 11 that will expand upon the regulations and give you the exact legal language where you can download PDFs and have those. And you are required by the executive order to have a plan or a guideline on file, whether it's on your website or in your office. There's a link for that in the order as well. So you should, and I believe you can use that almost verbatim. If you just download that and save that as a copy so you have it on site, if anybody asks you, you have that available to show to them. So that was one of the questions.
I almost sensed in the way that was written that they didn't really want to get the business, quote unquote, in trouble. So the other opportunity as an employee, if you're concerned about your own health, is just don't go to work. Because you don't have to go to work during these times. You can stay on unemployment. And we already discussed that. So that's another way of handling it if they just, I mean, if they didn't want to go the full extent of it all. You know, we don't know the full story, so that's a little bit of a challenge to answer in great detail. I have a comment from Susie asking about curbside pickup. We did cover it a little bit earlier, but I want to go over it again just in case some of you joined in, and that is, it says, what's the process? How are you handling this? So if someone places an order on the internet for a pickup, we're sending them an email back saying to please notify us exactly what time they'll be coming to pick up. On the weekend, next weekend, when we know we will have a lot of pickups, we are actually going to station a person in the parking lot, but we've already had signage printed that we're going to put outside that says, customers, please remain in your cars. So that we're going to put some signage out so people don't just come wheeling in and think it's business as usual. But of course, this employee will have masks on, they'll have gloves on, and they will be handling these products. And then we're going to ask people to just open their trunks, and we'll put it in the trunk for them. Or we also have a rolling rack in an area where they can, you know, if they say it's a rat bouquet and they want to just pick it up and put it in the front seat with them, that's up to them. But we'll have that all lined up on a rolling rack, and it'll have their name of the person that placed the order very prominently displayed on like an index card, for lack of a better term, piece of paper that size, that their name will be on it. There will be a lot of honor system type thing going on here, but so far our situation has been that everyone has been very accommodating and very pleased with that system. So that's how we'll be doing that. Somebody said a few local shops are putting arrangements outside in an honor system with a cash box. Is that still considered curbside? Well, sort of. There's not really supposed to be any money transaction being done outside. That's why I suggested earlier to have people use PayPal. That way there's actually no correspondence of funds or anything in between. I know in certain areas that this is not that far from the reality of how business can sometimes be done. I grew up in the country. I have a sister that still lives in the country. She's done this cash box system along roadside for years and has a very good situation with it. They even sell firewood that way. One year I was out there and I ended up coming up from out in the field and there was an envelope under my windshield wiper with money in it. And I thought, wow, this is great. I got paid to come visit my sister. But the reality is someone was putting an envelope there paying for the firewood they picked up. So I know in some areas that is a practice that people do. Is that what the governor's encouraging? I will say no. That is not what is legal. But I don't know what other shops are going to do. What other questions did you have, Rod?
Well, we covered most of them. One that we didn't talk about that I found interesting was, will street vendors be allowed or will there be a crackdown? It seems curbside may result in a lot of people selling Mother's Day flowers and gifts on the street. And the simple answer is they will not legally be allowed to sell from the curb. This would be breaking the governor's executive order and they would be subject to a $1,000 fine. I think there probably will be some violators out there, as there always are, and hopefully your local authorities will deal with them. So the simple answer is no, they're not allowed to sell curbside that way.
So just to reiterate that topic a little bit, if that does occur and you want to somehow address it, my suggestion as a business person and as a professional would be to call the local authority. Just call the local police department and say, listen, I'm so-and-so, I'm from so-and-so shop, and there's someone selling flowers down the street. I just wondered, do they have a permit to do that? Because a lot of municipalities do have licensings and permits that are required for that type of activity. And with all of these offices now being closed, I would assume there's none of those permits or licenses being distributed. So, so beside the fact it not being in the governor's order right now to do that, they
Correct.
probably don't have a permit or a license to do it either. So they definitely would be against all the rules that are out there. So I would just do that. I certainly wouldn't confront them myself. That's always just not a good situation. And I would stay on top of it that way and call the local authorities. If you're a reputable business in your community, I'm sure they will address the situation for you.
Yeah.
Somebody else just said, thanks for putting on this call. It can be lonely and confusing out here. And yes, totally agree. You know, this is something that none of us have dealt with before. So, you know, some of us are trying to, I mean, we're all just trying to do the best we very, very well can. And for those of you getting on here and trying to learn more about it, and those of you that are sharing your comments, you know, I greatly appreciate it because I'm a retailer too, and I'm learning as I go as well. Number one is we had a situation yesterday where we had a delivery come to the building, and the person bringing the delivery had their mask on, but like I see a lot of them, it was down around their neck. And so I just simply said to him, I said, I need you to step back outside because you can't be in here without a mask. And we had sent out a link from the association for some signs. Is that on the website, Rod?
Yep, but
So
I just posted that link in the chat box there.
okay.
On the bottom.
There is a link there that I would definitely go there. If you don't have signage up in your shop, you should have signage up in your shop. I printed off the one that says face masks must be worn here or something like that, whatever it says. It's got a picture of a face mask. I have those posted at all the entry doors. I have them posted. I also have posted that we are practicing social distancing. So everyone must remain 6 feet from each other. And it's hard. It's really hard in retail flower shop. We had to rearrange our design benches and rearrange some different things so that, I mean, because we're used to, you know, doing the butt bang as you go in to get this ribbon scissors and all that type of thing. And we've all been doing it for a long time. I get it. But we can't anymore, and we can't for our own health and the health of our employees. So you just need to make those changes. And sometimes having those signs up, even around the shop, I've got like 10 of them all around on inside the shop, just as my own personal reminder, just to say, hey, oh my God, stay 6 feet away from me, and just to be safe. And I know there's another school of thought, and people think that some people are overreacting, that kind of thing, but I still say I'd much rather be on the safe side than on bedside. So that's just kind of how I'm handling this. So and I want my staff to know that we're taking it very seriously. If someone comes in without a mask, I send them right back out the door. Go get a mask. I have extra masks available. This particular case, it was a delivery driver from a company we deal with, and so I gave him a mask. I said, "Here, take a mask." I said last week on our Zoom call, I actually got a ton of handmade masks. They're actually quite great. They look like this. And they fit on really well. And they got to go around my ear, and it fits perfect. And we had a employee, a customer actually, that's making them. And she reached out when she saw we were opening again. She asked if we needed masks. And I said, well, yeah, that'd be great. And so she gave me 40 masks to start out with, and she said, if you need more, just let me know. So we're just handing them out. We're giving 2 or 3 to every employee and letting them know that they can wash them and bring a new one in and that kind of thing. And that's the other thing. We keep reminding our staff that, you know, this isn't a forever mask. This is a mask that you're supposed to put on, and at minimum, you're supposed to wash it once a day. You know, don't keep wearing that same old mask every day. You know, I see it hanging on rearview mirrors now as I drive around. People got it hanging in their car. It's like the old dice thing. I see Alice laughing. I know. So just kind of do that. Somebody posted, any idea how to keep your glasses from fogging up? Yeah, I learned that too the hard way. You make sure that the mask is up high enough that it goes under the edge of your glasses, and put your glasses on the mask, and then it won't fog up. It's a miracle, but it's all these little things that we have to learn. So if you just put your glasses down over top of the edge of your, on top of the edge of your mask, then your glasses won't fog up. Carol just commented from Roquet in Plymouth and Battle Creek, posted her phone numbers in the chat room. They're open and they're delivering. So if you need any flowers, those of you who are looking for flowers, there's another option. Roquet Floral. Thanks for chiming in, Carol. Ryan said fold the Kleenex along the top of your mask. What's that supposed to do? To keep it from your glasses from fogging? Gotcha. All right. I never tried that, but you know, hey, all kinds of ideas work, right? Somebody says, Susie, what changes have you done with your social media? Do you have any changes, Susie? She's gonna say, I'm not a retailer. I'm just asking a question. I guess I don't know that I've made changes other than we're reiterating our new normal. And we share on social media, all that. We stayed engaged with our customers even while we were closed for a month. So I think was important for us, and we kept them going and understanding that, hey, you know, we might be closed right now, but we're coming back. And now that we are, they've been super excited to see us back open.
Yeah, I would think you'd want to use your social media big time. Maybe the change you made or should make is you get more engaged with your social media now more than ever. I mean, people are on their social media all the time right now, it seems like.
Yeah. Somebody else just put that they are doing bouquet subscriptions to get money ahead of time. If you're able to get the money up front, that helps for future. So you can maybe do, you know, flowers a month for a year, flowers a month for 6 months. Maybe they want to buy, you know, that kind of standing order for their mom. So I guess the other thing as a retailer, I would say is let's keep in mind that it's Mother's Day. Everyone has a mother. Everyone has somebody like a mother. Everyone has grandmothers, whether they're living or deceased. There's all kinds of mothers out there. And we need to make sure that we understand that people are buying multiple orders this time of year for Mother's Day. And also they haven't been able to, for those that have the luxury of their mother still here, they haven't been able to go see her. And so we need to make sure that we're representing them well. And we have found that people are willing to spend a little bit more money than they're used to. So currently our average order is around 100. And we have not had any problem getting that. When people call, and I explained earlier how we're selling, we're giving them 3 price points. We're saying, hey, 75, 100, 150, where do you want to be? Most everyone will pick the middle price. So anybody that was thinking of spending less or 100 are for sure going with 100 right now. It seems to be working very well. Does that mean we don't offer lower price point? No, not at all. We can do a $35 bouquet. We can do a $25 little vase bouquet if that's all they want. You know, I always remind them, you don't get the Mercedes for the price of the Escort. It's just the way it works. But doesn't mean they can't have a bouquet of pretty flowers or a plant or something like that. But I think people are really relying on our guidance. They want us to share with them, what do you think will be nice, you know? And so we're educating our staff to make sure that they're suggesting something in those price ranges to start with, and it's working very well. And I suggest you all do the same thing, because you're gonna be surprised. You'll get great results from it. The other thing that we've done is we put gift certificates right on our website, so people can purchase a gift certificate off our website. That's important as well. We also own another type of business, so we have gift certificates for that business on as well. There's Leah holding up her French's Flowers curbside pickup. Look at her go. She's going to dress up like a flower and dance around by the street. I just know it. Oh, there's the flower. I knew it. Great sign. But yeah, signage is important. I know we talked about it earlier, but this is the week. You should be getting all your signage together. Get ready. You need to have signage. This is new to us. This is new to our customers, and they're going to need to have signage for direction, where to go. Are you going to put one-way pull in your parking lot? I don't know. Everybody's situation is different, but whatever it is, get some signage made and be prepared. and make sure it's going to hold up in good weather and bad weather, because I hear tell Mother's Day there could be a few raindrops around Michigan. So we need to make sure we're ready for that as well. Don't get caught off guard. So you had another question, Rod, I think?
Well, there was one question, and it's a great question that unfortunately I don't have an answer to yet. I wasn't even going to bring it up, but everybody's probably wondering, or you may have been asked this question, and I am in the process of getting an answer, but we have to be patient because it involves the federal government. The question was, can an employee who is receiving unemployment, currently state and the $600 weekly from federal, return to work for Mother's Day, and then unfortunately might have to be laid off again after Mother's Day, continue to collect the $600 from the federal program, or is it forfeited? I know that they can return and reapply for state with no problem, but the question is on that $600 from the federal government. So I do have that question into Senator Stabenow's office. They have responded with, hey, great question, Rod. We'll find out and get back to you. So it's in the pipeline, but unfortunately, I don't have an answer for that one yet. I wish I did, but that's a good question.
Yeah, unfortunately, we weren't able to get that answered in time, and so we don't know. Alice shared with us that if you have giftware item in your shop, you know, it's going to be a hurdle to try to sell some of those things because people aren't able to come in your store. So try incorporating some of your gift items in with a floral bouquet, and have your staff suggest some of those items, such as, you know, a nice scented candle, or maybe you could do up some little Mother's Day gift baskets and have them ready to go, and just say, you know, oh, would you like to add a gift basket with that? And include whatever giftwares you have. You know, maybe you have stationery, maybe you have candles, maybe you have, I already mentioned that we have chocolates. We're known for our gourmet truffles, and we sell a ton of those. So those are already boxed and ready to go, and people will be buying those. Alice also said jigsaw puzzles. If you're selling jigsaw puzzles, you know, everyone's doing jigsaw puzzles right now. So keep that in mind. You know, I think people are looking for a little relief. So maybe put some fun names on them. Do it, you know, pandemic, survival basket, or whatever you want to do, and get creative with it, and put them on your Facebook, post them on your social media, and then have your staff suggest it when people call in. That's a way for you to move some of that merchandise that's in your store that obviously without people seeing it, they're not going to buy it. So video is another great thing on social media. So for those of you that have the opportunity, do a video in your store, show off some of that giftware you have, and say, you know, when you call to place your floral order, don't forget to ask for this, this, or that, and show them some of the different product. I'd encourage multiple short videos rather than anything really long, because people lose interest. And maybe you can just do, starting this afternoon, a simple video of the day and say, this is the giftware item we're featuring today. Call us to order your Mother's Day flowers, and consider getting one of these, whatever, paper lanterns or whatever it is. But that's another great way to move some of that product, because obviously these are products that if people don't see them, they don't know you have them, and they can't come in and touch them and feel them. So you're going to need to do that in the video for them and show them if it's an item that there's multiple uses. I know some stores carry even like kitchen items or cutting boards or things like that. So show them how they can use it, and promote it that way. People love little videos, especially if it's from their local business person that they know. So also, I would reach out to my local Chamber of Commerce. I know our chambers that we are members of, every time a local business posts something right now, they're also sharing it. So if your local groups are not doing that for you, I'd reach out to them and say, hey, it's Mother's Day week coming up. Can you share my post? We're struggling over here. Help us out. And I think sometimes these things get overlooked just because they don't think of it, or they're overwhelmed with other things that are going on. But I think most chambers and DDAs are more than willing to help with that kind of process. They want their businesses to stay here and stay running, so they'll help. And it really kind of reiterates and adds credibility to you as a business if the chamber or the DDA shares that. So I definitely would reach out to them and see about getting some of those things done. Now, you know, we're all going to get swamped crazy this coming week because we'll have minimal staff, all the products coming in late, and we're going to get our phone ringing off the wall. So I don't want to hear any complaints, okay? No complaints from anybody. But the best part is you got this weekend to schedule all your social media posts. So get them all scheduled this weekend, get them all done so that people will be saying, oh my God, how did you have time to do that post? And you had them all scheduled so that they're ready to go. So you don't have to be messing around with that last minute. So also keep in mind, if you've skinnied down your website, track your product, because if you sell out of something, you better get it off of there and add something new. Have your designer grab a container you have laying around. Oh, look at this case of extra containers I have. Create an arrangement in it, take a photo, put it on your website real quick. You can get that done quite quickly, and then change out that one that you're out of and create a new one. So those are just some quick, easy things you can do to kind of keep it rolling during this crazy time.
Great,
Rodney?
Great advice, Jerome. You went for an hour.
Yeah, look at me babble.
That was supposed to be a half hour.
Yeah, well, that happens.
But
I kind of get a little windy, right, Alice?
You did really, really well. Hey, before we sign off, I just want to say thank you to Jerome and thank you to our board of directors. The association has been backing us 100%. Also, I want to mention to say thanks to Cindy. She's not on the call today, but Cindy's been working with me 40 hours a week, religiously answering the phone and answering questions, and couldn't do this without her. So thank you, Cindy, and again, everybody else. But hey, before we sign off, let me get your picture for our social media page. Okay, everybody.
I also want to say a couple closing comments too, is that make sure when you're doing your social media posts that you're really promoting shopping local. Call your local flower shop. Here's our number, because people want to support local, but when they go online, it's very easy for an order gatherer to pop up when they're searching the name of your shop. And then they place the order and they think, oh, I placed the order with Susie's Flowers, but I didn't get something from Susie's Flowers. So educate them, tell them, make sure when you go online that this is what the browser bar says and this is how you do it. And if you're not clear on how to do it, just call us, because we're here. Operators are standing by, and really get them to understand how much it is important that they support local brick and mortar flower shops. I know we know that. I know we say it, but we need to really say it a lot between now and a week from Sunday. We need to tell everyone, don't trust your flower order to anybody but your local flower shop, and really promote that a lot, because that is important. Shop local, support local, buy local, all those statements. If you haven't had signage made, get some signs made. Sign companies are wanting to work too now. And so I emailed mine and they said, well, we can't legally be open, but I can make them for you and put them out front on the porch. And I said, yeah, perfect, I'll be there. And he had them done like in an hour and a half. And so don't think that you can't get signs made. Just email your local sign company. Get signs made. I have signs all the way across the front of our building that says shop local, buy local, call us, we're open, because people think you're closed. If your door is locked, they think you're closed. And so, in fact, for those of you that know my partner, Robin, he actually went out in the parking lot today and with his loud whistle, whistled a customer down because they came in and then they tried the door. We didn't catch it quick enough. They don't read the signs, and they were getting in their car to leave. So he gave them that good old Southern whistle that he has, and they stopped, and he ended up turning it into a sale, and that's exactly what happened. Oh, I didn't see the sign. Okay, well, there's 14 of them, but that's okay. So maybe you need to put a whistler in your parking lot. I don't know, whatever it takes. I think we're going to do whatever we need to do this holiday to make it work. So I just want to thank all of you. I want to thank our folks that reached in from Indiana, which is one of our newest regions of our association. Ohio, we want you to be a region. So those of you that are from Ohio that aren't members yet, I need you to get, I think the magic number right now is we need 4 more people to join from Ohio, and you can actually have a region, and then you can have someone sit on our board for representation. So I see a few of your smiling faces. Just all we need is 4 more Ohio florists to sign up, and we can get you a seat on the board and be part of this. We want to bring regional meetings to your area. We want to be able to work together as a team. The Great Lakes Floral Association is here to support the floral industry on a whole, and we really have had some great success in Indiana so far. We're actually scheduling a Zoom call for our Indiana members so to have a little education just involving their state and their members. So Ohio, we can do the same for you, and we can get some things going. So let's band together and make
Hi,
that happen.
Molly.
What's that?
Oh, I'm seeing Molly wave. We got Molly. Come in
Molly's
here for our
going.
picture.
She's waving.
I know, she's working. She's been working this whole time.
I know. I see her beautiful arrangement behind her. It's gorgeous.
Molly's down in Delaware, Ohio, I believe.
Yeah, great. So anyways, I just want to say thank you. I wish you all a very safe and prosperous Mother's Day. We're going to make this work. And remember to be kind and smile. And let's just spread beautiful joy through flowers. So thank you very much. It's been a pleasure. I hope you all found this beneficial, and we'll do it again sometime.
Okay, one more
everyone.
One more
Take care.
for the camera. I see Steve took his mask off up in Marquette. Okay, here we go. Quick
Put mine
smile.
back on. There you go.
All right. Thank you, everybody. I appreciate it. Have a wonderful Mother's Day. Be prosperous. Be safe. Stay healthy. Wash your hands. Don't touch your face.
Oh, yeah. Good idea.
Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.